Hello, my name's Danny Hopkins and I'm editor of Practical Classics. We're really pleased to be joining you today in our virtual NEC show. I'm sitting on the bonnet of Zoe, a very special Austin A40 rally car. Now this car was campaigned by Pat Moss, Sterling Moss's sister. She won her class in the Monte Carlo Rally in it, and it was the first car that Practical Classics ever restored. 40 years ago when the magazine began, this is the car we chose to restore. And this year is obviously the 40th anniversary of the magazine. What a year to choose to be the 40th anniversary. We were due to be bringing Zoe along to the Classic Motor Show. She was meant to be coming to the Practical Classics Restoration Show and Bewley, but we haven't been able to go to any of them, unfortunately, because of COVID. It's been a nightmare. However, today is a really special day. We're doing the best we can to make the most of what we've got. So we've got Zoe here. We've also got some really special projects which we'd like to introduce to you. Now, normally Practical Classics is active on the stage at Classic Motor Show, putting together a car during the weekend as part of Mike Brewer's Practical Challenge. Unfortunately, we can't be doing that, and we can't be with the Wheeler dealers today either. But we are going to be doing some special things with them at the workshop. We've got a Reliant Rebel, which we are putting together, hopefully to raise money for NHS charities. And then we've partnered up with Lancaster Insurance to restore a Type 2 VW bus. And that is going to be auctioned off, hopefully to raise money for Prostate Cancer UK. Now, both of those projects are ongoing. We were going to be working on them at the show. Here's a little snippet of what's been happening recently with them. Hi, and welcome to the Practical Classics workshop. We're here surrounded by all our projects today. A bit of a special day this one. We've got two charity projects which I've spoken about before on the go, and the first of these is a Reliant Rebel van. We've named this project Rebel with a Cause because hopefully when we get it running and we get it built up, we're going to take it on a bit of a trip with the Reliant Club. And then it's going to go to one of the big shows at the NEC. We're going to auction it off, and every penny that it raises is going to go to NHS charities, in particular the Gloucester Hospital and the Papworth Hospital as well, because they're very much connected with the person who donated the vehicle to us. It's been a bit of a labour of love for him, and now we're taking that further. We're going to finish it off. And today is a very special day because we're going to try and start the engine for the very first time. I don't think this vehicle has been run for at least 10 years, maybe even longer. It's a 1974 Reliant Rebel van, really, really rare. It's not the traditional Reliant with 3 wheels, it's got 4 wheels, and it's quite an attractive little thing when it's up and together. But at the moment we're dealing with the chassis, the drivetrain and the engine, and we're here at the Practical Classics workshop with James and Matt. James, from the Reliant Club, what are you actually going to be doing right now? What's your role in this next manoeuvre?
Right, so now what we're going to do is Matt's going to pump the throttle 5 times. That's going to prime the bores with a little bit of petrol to help it start. He's then going to put some power to the coil down here, which will give us our spark. And I'm going to connect the starter lead to the jump lead, which will crank it over, and hopefully it'll run.
And Matt, you're holding a really exciting probe. What's that for?
So just got a power probe, which means that we're not running a hard line to our battery. So if we do have a problem, I can just release my finger and we'll be able to kill the ignition straight away. We've cranked it over and we've made sure we've got oil pressure, but we have never started this engine. It's a fully rebuilt engine. Anything can happen.
Okay guys, fingers crossed. It might not start first time, but bear with us. Let's give it a go.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Power on. Okay.
Nothing, so if I can smell the petrol, I think there is
Definitely
fuel.
got fuel.
Yeah.
So did we mess around with the leads, or have we got
it's
them back to where they were? And have we got a nice healthy spark?
Yep, I can see it sparking.
Okay.
Let's try it one more time.
So did you retime it before? 'Cause I
Yeah,
know we
it's
did
at top dead.
before.
Ready?
Come on. So we got it started, we got it running. The engine sounds reasonably sweet. What do you reckon to that,
Yeah,
James?
it's not too bad. We just need to let it cool down now. Then we can take the rockers off, retorque the cylinder head, then put it back together and then run it up with some water in.
Perfect. So the Rebel with a Cause is a running vehicle at last, and hopefully we'll be on the road with it in due course. Now, we've got another project here as well, and it's just over there. So that was brilliant. We actually got the thing started and running, which is real first on that project. Rebel with a Cause is go, which is fantastic. This is our other project here. It's a Type 2, it's a bay window, late bay window, former panel van. And scrubbing away on it is a chap called Dave Youngs. Hello, Dave.
Tally, how are we doing?
Now, Dave is from Lancaster Insurance, and Lancaster are budding up with us on both projects. Lancaster actually own this van, and we're working with them to restore it. And they're also donating some time and effort money to the Rebel with a Cause project as well. Dave, just quickly, firstly, aren't you meant to be at work?
I am at work. This is work. This is the fun side of the job.
Oh, brilliant.
So getting hands dirty, get this engine bay prep ready for some paint.
So, as an insurance company, do you think it's important that you walk the walk as well as talking the talk?
Yeah, absolutely. It's all part of the authenticity.
Yeah.
We're not just insurers; we're enthusiasts as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose you wouldn't get involved in it if you were.
No.
Great. So tell us a little bit about what you're actually doing right now. What's the task in hand?
Well, obviously we've had a fantastic paint job on the van, taking it back to its original colour.
Yeah.
But we haven't actually painted inside the engine bay.
Yes.
So it's a little bit untidy in here. The previous owner's not made a fantastic job of painting in here.
No.
It's just a bit slapdash. So taking it right back, give it a good clean. We've got the panel white ready, and then we'll probably just put a nice matte black finish to it.
Excellent. Because, of course, we're worth mentioning at this point that CBR Restorations did the paint on this, and we took it over there, and they spent several months getting it really, really right, and they've done it really for as budget a job as they possibly can, but they've given us the Rolls-Royce treatment as well. So next year we're going to take this van around the coast of Britain. The readers of Practical Classics and Lancaster Insurance customers are going to choose their favourite beaches, and we're going to go and visit the top 5. And at the Britain's favourite beach, we're going to have a big party, and it'll be a post-COVID jamboree with this van right at the centre of it. I can't wait.
Sounds great.
Brilliant. Well, I'm going to do some work now, and Dave's going to get back to work, and in about 20 minutes probably have a cup of tea. So it's another workshop day. You can hear the guys working away in the background. Every year we try and do something exclusive at the Classic Motor Show and unveil a new project or show you some work in progress, or part of the weekend obviously is building the stage build. And this year's no exception. We want to show you the car that we're going to be hoping to finish off next year at a Practical Classics Restoration Show or Classic Motor Show, depending. It's an anniversary car. It's a car that was launched in 1971. It is now an icon. I hope you can tell what it is. It's underneath here. This is also the second oldest example of the breed in the UK. So it's a really special car. It's a bona fide barn find. And I can tell you exclusively for the first time that it is a Mark I Morris Marina Coupe, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. My first car was a Marina. And my second car, and my third car, all bought for under 100 quid. They got me through my student years. So familiar to so many people, and now, well, thanks to a lot of pianos, very familiar to the nation. I think they're amazing, I think they're fantastic, I think they're deserving of more respect. And next year, in the 50th anniversary year, we're going to be restoring this car back to as new condition. We want to try and do it before April, so we can take it to where the car was launched, down in Cannes, in the south of France. Fingers crossed with that. If not, you'll see it at the Practical Classics Restoration Show. If you don't see it there, you'll see it at the Classic Motor Show. But the Morris Marina, 50 years old, is going to be my big project next year. Right, the other project that we've got on the go this year is this fantastic Mini 1000 Mark II G-Reg. Last time it was on the road, November 1977 is the last tax disc, so it's been in a shed ever since then, and amazingly it's pretty solid underneath. But it's Matt Tompkins' big project for next year, so this and the Marina are going to be two cars that we're going to be putting together, and hopefully when they're done we'll do what we normally do on Practical Classics here. We take these cars on an amazing adventure, on amazing trips, and then we write about them in the mag. Unfortunately, we've not been able to do that as much as we normally do this year. We've really missed it, and we can't wait to get out on the road next year, take this car somewhere special, take the Marina somewhere special, James's CX, all the cars that we restore in the workshop all need to prove themselves out on the road, and we're hoping to do that. But before then, just to give you a little taste of what we hope to do next year, here's a little film of what we did last year. Every year in the magazine we run about 30 or so restoration stories, tales of endeavour, men and women who use their own money and their own time in their own sheds to create things of extraordinary beauty. And at the end of the year we get those stories together and we ask you, that's the readers of Practical Classics magazine and the customers in 2020 of Lancaster Insurance, to vote for their favourite restoration story. Now, obviously, this year we haven't been able to take those restorations through to the NEC because, unfortunately, COVID has got in the way. So we've kept the voting process open, we've asked you to vote for them online, and now we have a winner of the coveted Golden Spanner trophy. And he lives right here.
Yeah. Hey, Danny! How are you?
One of those.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keeping all right.
Yeah.
Now, you knew that I was coming down here today. The readers of Practical Classics and the customers of Lancaster Insurance have voted you Restorer of the Year, winner of the coveted Golden Spanner.
Oh
There you
no!
go.
Oh,
Good for
Danny,
you.
thank you so much.
Brilliant, mate. Well, look, I won't ask you to do a speech. Let's just go and have a look and show everybody at home as well. Let's go and have a look at the reason why you won that award.
Okay.
Come on. So, here she is, the fruits of Richard's labour. Obviously, it's an amazing fantasy. If you're going to be part of a fantasy, you've got to look the part. Isn't that true?
Absolutely, yes.
So you're dressed as Caractacus.
I am.
I'm dressed as his, I don't know, his home help mechanic. Where did it all start? How did it start?
It all started as a very, very small child sitting there in a chair in front of the television back in the 70s, watching Chitty Bang Bang, thinking, wow, you know, that's the person I want to be.
What was the first physical thing you did?
The first physical thing I did, I thought, I'd heard from somebody who was an immense help to me, and he was an absolutely wonderful person. And he said to me, if you haven't got your wheels, you haven't got your chitty, because the wheels are such a visual part of chitty.
They are.
You see, you've got a shiny bonnet, you've got the wooden body, but those big, huge red wheels are the big visual impact, you know, that go with the face of chitty and make up the whole model.
And Chitty is now something you take around to shows and...
Yeah. No, I certainly do. I really enjoy it because people love it. Chitty is to be shared.
Yes.
You know, it was the most amazing film, and people love it. When people see it, the reaction from children, adults, everybody loves Chitty. So you just need to get the car out, share it with people. If it does good stuff, it raises money for good causes. Excellent. If it just brings a smile to somebody's face in that day, it's worth it. How long did it take you, start to finish, to create this motor?
I think that the body itself probably took the longest as one whole part of the car. That really was about 7 months while doing the other bits, because it is so time consuming, because you've literally got to cut every one piece from the original pattern, then you have to fettle it to fit, then you have to attach the white strip. So all of that is very time consuming, so you've got to be getting on with your day job and the rest of the car while you're doing this. It was unbelievably time consuming, very stressful.
Yes.
It's a very straight grained wood, and what you don't realise is you've got a virtually straight line to about here, and then the whole thing kicks right up to about here per strip. Now, you wouldn't believe it unless you saw it, and then you have to bring that right in to give you that gorgeous motor.
What was the last thing you put on the car?
That's a very good question. Probably fitting the headlights. I gave it eyes, and it became a face, and it lit up, and that was it.
Well, then the next question is, do you want to make my face like that? Because I am itching to go for a little spin in this.
Yeah, why not?
Let's do it.
One of the good things, I suppose, about this year is the fact that everybody's been stuck at home to a certain extent, and that's meant that a lot of projects, and a lot of restoration projects in particular, have got a lot further down the line than they otherwise would. So next year we're hoping to see a great big crop of fantastically restored cars coming to every single show. It's going to be a fantastic year. Once we get through this period, once we're back out there enjoying our passion, it's going to feel better than ever, because we'll know what we've missed. That's a really important thing. So we will see you next year. We'll see you at both NEC events, the Practical Classic Car and Restoration Show and the Classic Motor Show, sponsored by Lancaster Insurance with Discovery. We'll make sure that we're going to be there. We're going to be on stage. We're going to be on our stand, chatting to you guys, telling you about our projects, hearing about your projects, and celebrating as well. So thanks very much for joining us. And in our 40th anniversary year, let's just leave you with a little taste of what Practical Classics is all about.
Come on, darling.